case you were wondering, this is what Am Yisrael Chai looks like. Seeing all of our faces together with all of these faces. And I know that there's one very beloved face who's conspicuously missing up here. Rabbi Serkman is well, and he sends his regrets. But months before war broke out in Israel, he'd committed to being up in Massachusetts tonight to celebrate Emma Rayfeld, our song leader, who's being celebrated as the new cantorial soloist up there. So he is with us in spirit, as I know so many other LTers are, and many via live stream. When we sat down on Monday morning together, our clergy team felt like we needed this. And we believe that you needed this. And I think we all know that Israel needs this. For even though we've been back to the din of our daily lives these past few weeks, our souls remain shattered by the unprecedented terror in Israel on October 7th. We are, as a Jewish community, still in that period of Shloshim, in that first 30 most intense days of mourning for the lives that were lost. And it's gotten more complicated, of course, since that day, in ways that we each undoubtedly are struggling with differently. But together, we gather this evening to affirm that which we know is still true. That Israel must continue to defend herself, to root out the evil that is Hamas, which has embedded itself among the people of Gaza. We've come together to mourn the deaths, not just of Israelis, but of Palestinian lives, also tragically lost in this impossible situation Israel finds itself in. And while the media cycles seem to have all but forgotten, we come tonight to lift up the faces and the stories and the hope for the more than 240 hostages who still remain in captivity. Tonight, we're inspired by that chilling exhibit at the Tel Aviv Museum that perhaps some of you saw photos of, that long, empty Shabbat table with all of the faces, all of these posters and the empty seats. We said we should do this, but we should fill the seats. Thank you for filling the seats. So as we start our service, if you're sitting on a seat or next to a seat with the face of one of these hostages, do what's comfortable with it for you. Perhaps you just want to hold it close. Perhaps you want to tuck it into the back of your siddur so that it's embedded there in your prayers. Perhaps you want to set them next to you as a partner. Tomorrow morning, Nate is going to lead our kahal, our latest bar mitzvah, and he's going to chant from morning blessings, which we say traditionally every single day, a litany of blessings. And one of them is at the top of this sheet that you read. Until just recently, the handout that hopefully you have, until just recently, this blessing was a metaphor for me, at least. And suddenly, this month, it is real, it is urgent. And I invite us to share in it together as we begin our service. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who frees the captives. Even in times of darkness, especially in times of darkness, Judaism commands us to kindle lights. And so we turn to light and invite Nate, who will be called to the Torah tomorrow as a bar mitzvah, together with his mom Liz, to join us on the bima. We turn to page 120 in our Siddur, the thinner blue books under your seats, if you didn't take one yet, as we kindle these Sabbath lights.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We rise for Kiddush. If you're at home and want to lift a glass, this particular Kiddush cup, I think, has 4 generations, more?
3 generations.
He will be the 4th.
Yes,
Engraved
yes.
on it. This is the bar mitzvah family cup. We lift it with joy.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'yarata banu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila l'mikra'e kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'charta, ve'otanu kitashta, mikol min, v'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava uratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh HaShabbat.
Take a sip.
Amen.
Just grape juice, right?
L'chaim.
No, we're not giving you wine yet. You're only turning 13. Mazel tov to you and the Rotem family. You may be seated. We begin our service of Kabbalat Shabbat, inviting in those angels which we hope will bring peace with them and bless us. Page 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלאכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך
We turn back a couple of pages to 138 for L'Chadodi, set to an Israeli tune tonight. We'll sing together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9, and it's our custom that as we reach that final verse, we'll rise and face the door to greet Shabbat, and then take a moment to greet one another as well. Page 138.
Lecha dodi likra kala yalala 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 bnei Shabbat bekabela. Lecha dodi likra kala yalala 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 bnei Shabbat bekabela. Shamor bezachor bedibor echad hishmi'anu el hamiyuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shem ultiferet ve'litila. Lecha dodi likra kala yalala 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 bnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likra kala yalala 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 bnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor habracha. Merosh mikedem nefsucha sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila. Lecha dodi likrat kala yalala 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 bnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likra kala yalala 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 bnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri hitoreri kiva odeku mi ori. Uri uri shidaberi kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likra kala yalala 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 bnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likra kala yalala 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 bnei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom atere ba'ala gam besimcha u'v'tzola toch emunei am segula. Boi chala boi chala. Lecha dodi likra kala yalala 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 bnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likra kala yalala 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 bnei Shabbat nekabela.
The voices, are they, how bad are they?
Not.
The kids are going to be okay in the second row?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I give them
Nothing
a
is
heads up.
graphic. No, no. We talked to the.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I talked to the B'nai Mitzvah family, not the younger cousin.
But it's not.
You were supposed to greet. You're not allowed to sit.
That's okay. Well, I'm not going to say a word anyway. All right, I hate to break up the party, But in a moment, we'll turn to Baruch Hu, our call to worship. And it's a moment where our Shlichei Tzibur, our prayer leaders, sing out to the Kahal, are you there? Are you standing with me? And so as we turn to Baruch Hu tonight, we affirm that we are standing together not just with our cantor, but with all of these hostages, with all of their families. Our voices must rise in prayer doubly strong tonight, for we pray with them and for them. Rising for Baruch Hu, page 146.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
The bottom of 147. O God, you are as near as the very air we breathe, yet farther than the farthermost star. We yearn to reach you. We seek the light and warmth of your presence. Though we say you are near, we are lonely and alone. Oh, let our desire be so strong that it will tear the veil that keeps you from our sight. Let your light release our darkness and reveal the glory and joy of your presence.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha. Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha uv'lechtecha b'derech uv'sholchbecha uv'kumecha וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם בארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Emet. Page 159. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Page 158. So traditionally, our tefillah, the longer central standing prayer, is the heart of our service. Tonight, we felt it needed a different liturgical heart. So we're going to do our tefillah, then we're going to, with Rabbi Hoffman's permission, we talked to him last night, switch the order just a little bit in the Siddur, as our people ever have. So we turn together to page 164 and rise for our tefillah, asking God to give us strength, give us courage to open our lips in praise.
Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid, Tehilatecha, Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach. Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanavra, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Bezocher Chaste Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Ula Limnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Bezrat Torah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Atarav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach Umorid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim verofei cholim. Umatir asurim. Umekayem emunato lishenei afar. Michamocha bal gevurot. Umido melach. Melech memit umechayeh. Umatzmiach Yeshua. V'ne'eman ata lahachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yehallelujcha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
You may be seated, page 178.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Ki atahu melech adon. Lecho hashalom, ki atahu melech adon. Lecho hashalom, shalom rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael. B'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam.
So the heart we felt of this service was Hashkivenu, a prayer for peace, a lullaby really in our liturgy that begs God to spread over us, over Israel, over the world, a sheltering canopy of peace, a spiritual, impenetrable iron dome, if you will. Tonight we wanted to expand and accentuate this prayer in particular, the prayer that we need most right now, the prayer that Israel needs most right now. I know many of us too, even here in New York, have been feeling afraid and adrift, how much more so our family in Israel. And so we turn back to that handout for an English adaptation of Hashkivenu first, and then we're gonna weave together that beautiful melody we learned at the start of the service for Hashkivenu with the voices of just a few of these 248 individuals most in need of protection and peace.
Oh, guide my steps and help me find my way. I need your shelter
many parents in Israel right now who should be rocking children to sleep in their arms and cannot. One of them, well, she's a little older. Probably she wouldn't have been rocking her 21-year-old. But the mother of Mia Shchem, 21-year-old from Mazor, Israel. Mia was one of the hundreds of young people at that Nova Music Festival in the South. You might have seen a short video of her released early on by Hamas a couple of weeks ago. And her mother, Kerem, tells the story of that morning in her own words. Mia went to the party Friday night with a friend, and I woke up on Saturday morning and saw what was happening. I called her. The phone was ringing and there was no answer. I called the friend too, but his phone was off. The only thing I know is that Saturday morning at 7:17, she sent a message to one of the other people at the party. They're shooting us. Please come save us. I'm a single mother. I have 4 children. Mia is the second. Mia is very, very creative. She's very beautiful. She's only just started her life. She's my best friend. She's like a mother to my youngest girl. Every mom will say this about her child, but Mia is so special. She's all my world, and she's just vanished. I have no clue where she is. Mia is a real warrior, and I know that she will never give up. She will fight to the end. I want to tell Mia that she is the love of my life. I want to tell Mia if she hears me, I will do everything I can. And if they hear me, our cruel enemy, I'm telling them now, you can come here and take me. Bring my daughter home. She is only an innocent child. Take me and bring my daughter home.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom ve'hamidenu shomrenu lechaim u'Yerusalem
face of Hirsch Goldberg Poland, I saw before the official pictures started to pour out, because we Jewish people are really just one big mishpacha, an extended family. And so before even names were released on Facebook, I saw friends of his parents posting. Because Hirsch, an American Israeli living in Jerusalem, was born in Chicago. And no doubt, if you look in your Facebook feed far back enough, you'll find some connection to him too. His father, John, shares that Friday night, Hirsch was home with us in Jerusalem. We went to synagogue for Shabbat and the Jewish holiday that was coinciding with it. Afterwards, we went to a friend's house with 2 other families, and at 11 p.m., he came and said goodbye to us. He had on a backpack, was going to meet up with his friend for a music festival. Saturday morning, I got up and left at 7:30 to go to synagogue. I was hearing booms and figured there was something going on, but we didn't know what. When I got to synagogue, we continued to hear them. Those of us who were at the temple that morning went several times in and out of the bomb shelter. I got home at about 9:30, and my wife immediately showed me that she had turned on her phone, which she does not usually do on Shabbat. She showed me that we had received 2 back-to-back text messages from Hirsch at 8:11 a.m. The first said, "I love you." The second message said, "I'm sorry." We knew he was in some sort of distress, but we didn't even know where he was. My daughter got online and saw that there was this festival was being attacked. My wife reached out to Hirsch and their friends and their parents, and all were confirmed to be not responding to the text. From about 1 p.m. that Saturday until now, Hirsch's father writes, we've had an ongoing mini situation room set up in our apartment. We have 2 different friends going each night to different hospitals in the South to see if they could find him, and eventually, once it was confirmed that he was among the wounded hostages, we've had a team of supporters around the clock making calls, trying to work through the U.S. government authorities, trying to get to humanitarian international agencies, trying to get foreign governments that we think might be potentially influential assert themselves. We wake up every day after barely sleeping. We continue on the mission. Either we succeed or we don't. There's nothing in the middle. That is what carries us. It helps that we are in support and feeling love from around the world, hearing from people who know, people who we don't know, with messages of support, tracking on Bring Hirsch Home, as you may have seen on social media. It all strengthens us. Those one-line messages of support, people saying they are thinking of us, it all helps. It's all part of what is carrying us through life right now as we wait for Hirsch.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom ve'amidenu shomreinu lechayim ufros aleinu.
one more story, one more voice. Can't possibly share all of them in one night. But the words of Shaked Haran, who is missing 9 members of his family after the attack at Kibbutz Be'eri. I wasn't in the kibbutz, he wrote. I was in my home in Beersheba. We woke up from the sirens from the missiles and we ran into the shelter. We were there for a few hours. At this time, my brother in the south, it's a woman, Shaked. At this time, my brother in the south of Israel started getting the news of what's going on, and he started trying to communicate with my parents. At the beginning, they answered him. They were locked down in the shelter, 8 of them together. It was almost all the family except my aunt and uncle. They told my brother that they're keeping safe and they're following all the orders. And then at around 10:30 in the morning or 11, he tried to text them again. And they wrote back that they're in very big trouble and that they love us. And that was the last text we received. From that point on, we tried everything and anything to get in touch with them, to understand what was happening. But the reality in the kibbutz was like a horror film. We kept getting messages from people saying there were gunshots everywhere, homes set on fire. We did not know where they were. We finally received a message that the IDF forces were in our house, but they didn't tell us what they saw or what's happening. Later on, we saw the photos, burned down, ruined. Nothing was left, but it had been empty. At this point, we realized that all of my family, including my 3-year-old niece and my 8-year-old nephew, have been abducted by Hamas. We have no idea if they're still together or not, or what's been done. Ever since then, we have no new information. We have no idea if they are alive, if they're together, where the children are, if they're being kept safe. We know nothing. We haven't received any information, not from the Red Cross, not from other organizations. So this is the situation now. Shaked writes, I'm 30 weeks pregnant. The first few days were unbearable, and I was frightened that I would not manage to stay healthy. But once we understood that the odds were that they were abducted, that they might still be alive, we tried to take all our energy and power because there's still hope for us. Yesh tikva. There's some hope. We're not naive. We know the situation, but we're holding on to this hope.
May they be safe. May they be free. May they find space to just be. Can
In this week's Torah portion, Vayera, our forefathers, Abraham and Sarah, rushed to greet three strangers at the entrance of their tent. They feed and wash and welcome them. They become the paradigm of hospitality, of our Jewish value of hachnasat orchim. And they discover, in fact, that these three mysterious men were divine messengers, each with a sacred mission. It's from one of the messengers, though, that we learn another major mitzvah in this week's Torah portion, that of Bikur Cholim, of visiting and supporting those who are ill. For Rashi tells us that one of those three angels was there to bring comfort and healing prayers to Abraham. We don't always remember, but he was like 99 when he committed to the covenant and was circumcised. And so the angel came to bring well wishes, to pray for his healing. So as we turn to our Misha Berach, our prayer of healing, we follow in the footsteps of Abraham and Sarah, of those angels. We reach out through our brokenness, trying to lift up those who are in need of healing, drawing strength from one another. So we rise as one community, if you'd like, holding hands or just holding one another in our hearts. Praying in particular for those whose healing is needed in our extended temple family: Jerry Gallner, Nancy Hanley, Pat Ryan, Stanley Tereski, Paul Wiggins, Marla Wiggins, Evelyn Silberg, Dick Stone, Hannah Stampelman, Enid Elton, Andy Rosenthal, Dan Zimmerman, Joseph Spinelli, Jody Kahn, Samuel Phillip, Ariel Eden, Ian Spear, Joanne Tobin, Abby Zatoun, Robert Schur, Brad Dembski, Barry Fenner, Gabriel Morse, Jeffrey Amder, Kristen Harris, Irv Cohen, June Foreman, Louise Elton, Millie Marmer, Abby Katz, Alessandra Day, Susan Frankel, Jack Blumenfrucht, Cabrine Calamari, Kira Rutman, Frank Fozzolari, Marion Froelich, Barbara Schiff, and Karen Green. We think, too, of all of the families in Israel sitting in brokenness right now, in need of hope and of healing. And I invite you, if you're comfortable, as we share in our Misha Berach, to lift up these faces, but to turn them actually that way. You can stay facing this way, but turn it back, because we know that many friends are on the live stream and not getting to see them all. We lift them and their families up in prayer. We hold them in our hearts, and we join in this prayer of healing for us all, middle of page 371.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We remain standing for Aleinu as our ark is opened by our on deck B'nai Mitzvah, yes?
Maddie and Gabby are here.
Maddie and Gabby, come on up. Help us open these ark doors so that the light of Torah can lift us all.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latekeru lalioter bereshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, vanachnu koreim umishtachavim umodim livnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
We turn to words of Kaddish on 598, these words which we so associate with death and with mourning. We are reminded that, in fact, if you look at the translation, they are an affirmation of the continuity of life and the continuity of faith. Reminder that, again, Am Yisrael Chai, the Jewish people, lives. There are too many names to name of the 1,400 civilians killed in Israel on October 7th, of thousands more Israelis, Palestinians, innocent people of all ages who have fallen in these weeks. We hold all of them in our hearts, and we add to the thoughts of all of them the names of those for whom yard sites are observed this week in our temple community. We remember with reverence Stanley Schenkerman, Andy Langbart, Jack Abelson, Harry Fleischman, Morris Trebach, Elias Strausser, Lillian Brooks, Ida Leifert, David Fine, Mary Jaffe, Lawrence Gingold, Karen Gerson, Richard Leschner, Bluma Brado, Joseph Karp, Julia Motzkin, Morris Green, Cyril Grant, Gerald Ansel, Adele Tamarin, Sylvia Good, Gerald Rosenstrach, Mary Carroll, Beulah Hofberg-Handler, Stanley Haspel, Bernice Brooks, Avner Bittel, Avram Remy Mintz, Nathan Grossman, Morris Robb, Gerald Tone, Beth Hyman, Barbara Hess, George Gould, Ruth Monshine, Bernard Shapiro, Dr. Werner E. Engel, Philip Gordeski, Maurice Levenstam, Evelyn Emeriani, Louis Blum, Morris Lester Marks, Millicent Jacobs, Walter Kingstone, Aaron A. Wynn, Sharon Felder, Tilly Bernstein, Beulah Handler, Tilly Spitzer, Jenny Dessel, and Ottila Molina. We mourn too for those for whom a period of Shloshim continues to be observed, those we've lost in the last 30 days. Aaron Weiss, husband of Marilyn, father of Amy Lands and Wendy Simon Weiss, grandfather of 5. Marcia Ruth Silvers, mother of Jonathan Silver and Allison. Elaine Schoengood, aunt of Matt Schoengood, great aunt of Amanda Skosid and Jake Silvestri. Gail Harrington, wife of Mike Harrington, sister-in-law of Mary Ann, Dennis, and Lynn, dear friend of Philip Hohnstein and Lisa Schnapper. Leon Pollack, father of Robin Perlman, Jeff and Andrea Gabay, husband of Catherine, grandfather of 5. Noel Dorff, father of John, Greg, and Jason, grandfather of 7, significant other of Pat Hammer and predeceased by his wife, Natalie. Omri Fierstein, cousin of Bram Fierstein, killed in action while fighting Hamas in defense of Israel last week. Levi Buknik, Matan Malka, Ra'em Meir Batido, member of Daron Friedman's nephews, that name aloud as well at this time. We honor their memory, affirm the love and legacy they leave us, joining together in words of Kaddish, page 598. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yurteh ve'amlech malchuteh, b'chayachon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'yizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shlam Rabbah mevorach le'olam ulmei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha barichu, la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nachamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabba min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories ever be for blessing. Amen. You may be seated.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm Carol Scheffler, member of the Board of Trustees of here, Larchmont Temple, and on behalf of the entire board, we welcome you all. We're so glad you're here in the sanctuary and via live stream. I really want to thank Rabbi Frankel, Cantor Orengel, and our incredibly talented musicians for this deeply meaningful and moving service. We wish Nathan Rotem and your parents, Niv and Elizabeth, a wonderful day tomorrow. It's your bar mitzvah. You've been waiting a long time, and it's here. Hooray. We're so excited to have you lead us and teach us tomorrow. We know you're going to do an amazing job. An early mazel tov. And we want to also wish a mazel tov to Emma Rosen and her parents, Douglas and Danielle. Emma had her bat mitzvah on Thursday. We encourage you to read their drashes, which I actually did this afternoon. They're terrific. They're available on the Friday email. You can click through and enjoy them. We have many special events coming up, as we always do at Larchmont Temple, but I'm going to call attention to three that you should pay attention to. Next Friday night is our Kristallnacht Shabbat. The message will surely resonate on a very different level this year, and I know we'll all want to be here and hear that. On Saturday, November 11th, the LT Family Mitzvah Corps will be going on a fall cleanup walk. Details are in the Friday email or on the website. You can also, of course, always call the office. And then Friday, November 17th, you definitely don't want to miss this. This is a Shabbat of celebration for Rabbi Serkman's 36 years and Larchmont Temple 75 years. So we're going to have all kinds of surprises and a special oneg. We're going to see you all there. There's more information, as I said, in the Friday email, on the website, and check everything out. Shabbat Shalom.
I want to make one more plug tomorrow morning. I told Nate, tonight was a little heavy. Tomorrow is all joy for you and your family. If you're looking for a service that's a little bit smaller and more hamisha, at that same time, downstairs in our library, our monthly musical minyan will be meeting. So we invite you to join as well. So where do we go from here? What happens when we leave this room? As Rabbi Rick Jacobs reminded so many of us last night in his inspiring talk, the people of Israel are counting on us to keep hope alive, to ensure that Israel has the continued resources it needs to find these hostages, to defend itself, to rebuild eventually towards a secure, sustainable peace, we pray. So first of all, we have to keep showing up and speaking out, making our Jewish presence felt proudly in public and regularly here at Temple. Spoiler alert, Shabbat happens every week. You can come every week, and we hope you will. Over the next few days, too, opportunities to continue to gather with wider and wider circles of community with our cantor on Sunday night, together with many congregations from Westchester at WJC for a concert in solidarity with Israel, singing with Neshama Karlbach. Perhaps in New York City on Monday at 4 p.m. in Central Park, a rally that is being organized. Just keep showing up. Don't forget, Israel's still counting on us. 2, give generously. If you haven't yet, I know we've sent a lot of emails. It's because it's really important. And there's more information on the back of your handout about this latest round of our Israel Fund that has been amazingly generously matched. And finally, we want to invite you to take your picture home. Grab one of the photos nearby. It's hard to look at, and that's why we need to. We need to keep thinking about them. We need to keep praying for them. We need to keep advocating for their release and return to their loving families. And consider over the coming weeks a new spiritual practice. The rabbis teach us each morning we're supposed to wake up and say these words of blessings. Matir Asurim, praying that God may free the captives. Take home this sheet too. Consider waking up each morning, perhaps looking at that photo and saying these words, which were written 2,000 years ago, but very much for this moment. So we'll end, of course, with a prayer for Israel and its anthem, Hatikva, hope, which is baked into Israeli society and our Jewish DNA. As we were urged by the very voices of the hostages' families, we must also hold on to hope that our people may yet live freely and safely in our homeland. We turn to page 500 and, I didn't transfer my notes here, hang on. We'll just do Hatikva, page 678.
Please rise.